Hi, I'm Peter Owusu, and I am, oh my gosh, I just blanked on what I was supposed to say. Hi, I'm Peter Owusu, and I am very passionate about diversity and inclusion. Oh, it was fantastic. I'm really appreciative of my parents as newcomers, especially my dad as a newcomer to Canada. She grew up kind of in a Western culture, but my dad didn't, and he's always been a really mindful person and very open, and he tried to make sure that, we grew up with the best of both worlds. So I really am thankful for both of them because they were fantastic in that regard. My mom was actually born in England, so her parents come from Ghana as well, but they moved to England when my mom was born, and then they had my mother, my aunt, and my uncle there, and then they moved to Canada, so they moved to Hamilton, Ontario. My dad came much later, so he came when he was an adult, he came for university, but my mom came when she was about 6 years old, so she pretty much grew up here too. Yeah. I didn't really get to know much of any part of the immigrant process. Like, I grew up in Mississauga. I was born there. That's just been my whole life. I went to Ghana once when I was like 8. My mom brought us to go. So we went for a month. We stayed with my grandma. She was down there. Mississauga is huge. People don't interact with you as often because there's just so many people. I'm shocked here at how many people will wave at you if you're driving. Emma calls it the 3-finger salute on the steering wheel. People will stop you and say hi when you're walking on the street. You can have chats with people in many different stores. Anywhere you go, there's lots of people to chat with, so that's awesome. I remember a time I was getting some blood taken, and somebody asked me, "Oh, where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, my parents are from Ghana, West Africa, but I was born in Toronto and I've lived there mostly my whole life." And then they asked me 5 minutes later, "Oh, so how are you adjusting to the winters in Canada?" And I was like, "Just fine, because I've been here for 25 years." The other part that I love of Atlantic is the sense of community as well. So I found that the Black community here is so tight-knit and so welcoming, and that's been a huge reason of why I've stayed and why I'm making it my home, because although there's less Black people, I'd say, just in terms of total population, the community here is very together, and that's amazing. And the sense of community and spirit and home is what kind of drew me. I ended up meeting with a few people in the community who immediately embraced me. I was shocked. It was 2 older women who basically hugged me the first time they met me and said, "This is our son now, this is our grandson, we're taking him, you're ours." And having the community here to say, "You know what, you're our grandson, we're taking you, you are ours too," was what was really nice and was what really helped me kind of get through that time. So that's why I'm in debt to the community here for taking me on as adopted son of theirs. I'm planning some financial literacy lessons at the moment with a member in the community as well, so that's amazing, and we're looking to do that. I give presentations to TD folks as well, so I've been giving diversity and inclusion presentations, which also include an Africville portion, a topic that I learned a bunch about from members of the community and through my own research when I moved here. I did the opening remarks at the Halifax Black Film Festival on behalf of TD. It's a double-edged sword. It is the best I've ever experienced. It is the most in love with being a Black man that I've ever felt in my life. But it's also been very difficult. Emma is white, so we're in a mixed-race relationship, and it's tough. We've experienced things that I didn't experience back home, where, we'd go into smaller towns and hold hands, and immediately I would say, I don't feel comfortable even holding your hand. You can feel the eyes on you, and you can feel people looking at you, right? You get the questions after you tell somebody that you're born here, they're kind of like, "Well, how's the winters here?" That kind of stuff happens more, but then the other side is then you do have that sense of community. You do have that more tight-knit family of the Black community here that I think is the best I've ever had. So there is certainly parts that I would hope would improve, and that's kind of why I'm out in the community trying to talk to people and get to know people and spread kind of the positivity, because I think all it comes down to is just a lack of understanding, right? Like, we just need to talk more. We need to show people who we are and kind of start that dialogue. And then, right, the person who asked me where I was spending my winters, they weren't trying to be nasty or mean, right? They were asking me about how I handled something. I think it's just to learn and to listen. So it really is a double-edged sword. It's been fantastic, and it's been a little bit hard, but I will take the fantastic side more each time. Yeah.